legalize, but fear. Also just reach out based on people's fear. And then, there's this whole identity model in terms of they have nothing to do with us, in terms of denouncing humanity, and so forth.
So, and do you have a question beyond that, or just want to
Yeah, so I wanted to also thank you, but also all of this in terms of the role of the bystander.
Yes, okay.
Is when we don't see that urgency, we don't act out independently and try to even form as a small group, as like Margaret Mead said, only small groups sometimes.
Well, traditionally we have in America, though. So, first of all, going back to the Hitler speeches by his bedside, she did say that in the Vanity Fair article, and when the press asked him about it, his response was the following: "That doesn't mean I read them."
Oh, Jesus! I didn't inhale.
Well, that might be true.
I didn't inhale.
I find that really chilling. Okay, that's number one. Number two, let's talk about the good thing here. Anti-Semitism goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, starting with the anti-Semitic meme of blood libel, or the Jews kill Christ. So Hitler was able to tap into an ancient darkness. That's number one. Number two, after World War II, it was the American president who begged the Allies not to do what they were doing. I meant after World War I, I'm sorry. After World War I, the reparations demanded of Germany were basically Deutschmark till we tell you to stop. And Woodrow Wilson said that's a really bad idea, because it created a very, very desperate German populace. And I mentioned earlier tonight, large groups of desperate people are a national security risk. They are very vulnerable to ideological capture. That's why we did the opposite after World War II. The Marshall Plan, we rebuilt Europe after World War II. We helped Germany, West Germany, that was ours. We helped Japan. That was extremely important. What had happened in American society? Nobody who is a conscious observer of American society thought that racism wasn't here. Nobody thought xenophobia wasn't here. Nobody thought anti-Semitism wasn't here. Nobody thought, homophobia, any of that wasn't here. But we did think, several decades ago, that we had reached a consensus in America on both the left and the right, Democrats and Republicans and others. We thought we had reached a point where there was a consensus that there were lines past which we would not cross. So I don't think any sophisticated person thought those things weren't there, but we thought we'd reached a point where they would never again achieve any kind of political prominence, a serious political megaphone, or anything like that. Those are the levees that have fallen. That's why this is such a dangerous time. Nobody foresaw there being a political movement giving serious political voice and succor, even at the highest levels of government, to impulses of the American mind, which we thought, we all agreed were only fringe elements that we would no longer give serious political voice to. So the good thing is that in America, we had achieved that. We don't have, and that's why we need to counter what is happening. It's just like with the immigrant issue. The good thing is that so many Americans are standing up against what is happening, because we have a tradition of welcoming the immigrant in America. Unless you're black in America, your ancestors came here and seeked a better life. I mean, if your parents or grandparents, great-grandparents came on a slave ship, obviously they were not coming in search of a better life. But their ancestors, their descendants are certainly part of that franchise. So I think we have the requisite horror. I think we have, and this is what I see in America, we have the requisite people going, whoa, well, what's going on here? And that's what we want to remember. You're not the only horrified person. The issue is we need to harness between among ourselves for political purposes the legitimate sense of moral outrage that people feel. I believe in the goodness and the decency of the American people. I do. And I believe in the goodness and the decency of German people. I mean, the kind of evil that sprung up there could have sprung up anywhere, but there are characterological and sociological aspects to a society that can make it easier. In that case, the desperation of the German people, with the whole, all of Europe was saying, you're the worst of the worst of the worst, here he comes along and says, no, actually, you're the best of the best. So but clearly this is a time when we cannot wait. It has to happen now. But the reason I did this year, I set out to, give talks. I did this thing I called my Love America tour. I've been everywhere. I've been in Milwaukee and Phoenix and Miami and Dallas and Houston and Austin and Charleston, and I've really been all over the country. And it's not just at my talks, it's, like I said before, I think at airports, on buses, on trains. We're good people. We just had a perfect storm here. And like I said, it's not even so much that we perpetrated something, it's that we disengaged. We took our eye off the ball. And that's what we've learned from this. I think we will get through this. But what we have to be very clear about is if we're the same people on the other side of it that we were before, it will happen again. So we have to change. We have to change. As that gentleman said, we have to be engaged in a whole new level. So we're not Germany in the 30s. Some of the things that are happening to us, but this is not, what you're saying is very true, not only in Germany and other European nations as well, where it wasn't just what Hitler did, it was what so many people were willing to go along with. It's what too many people in Germany and elsewhere did not have the moral fiber to say no to when he did do what he did, although we want to remember those people who did. But in America, we have the requisite, I believe this with all my heart, we have the requisite a number of people going, whoa, this is not who we are, whoa. We just have to take that whoa and turn it into political force in 2018, 2020 and beyond. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.